one wonders what Carl does in between chasing monsters and aliens and stuff. And of course, the show does give you an indication. He ends up covering ordinary stories and stuff like that. Sometimes it's even the crime world and that sort of thing. And then, of course, whoops, it leads to some weird thing going on. Such is the case here, where he's there to meet an informer on a fashion show. So, look, this might be one of the sexier shows because a couple of the girls look really good, especially the main guest star. So there's that, you know. So anyway, he's supposed to meet with this guy who's gonna spill the beans on the Trevi collection, and it's an episode that while I was watching it, I don't think I've ever seen this one. As it went, then I remembered, yes, I had, but I don't know, it skipped my mind. And I was like, Trevi collection, what does that refer to? Yeah, I didn't know. And, well, it's a fashion collection. So there's this woman who's in charge of the designs, and you've got the models around. And Carl gets to know one of the models. She seems rather eccentric and strange. And but terrible things happen. So the actual informant, well, he ends up falling out of a window of a high-rise and, you know, dies on the way down, you know, hits the pavement, or a car, I think. But anyway, and Carl's like, well, what's this all about? And, of course, as he was spying on the collection of the fashion and looking up the different designs that weren't for public viewing just yet, so he was taking pictures of that stuff, the mannequins appeared to come to life, and ultimately, I guess they grabbed him and threw him out the window. So I was like, oh, what's this about? Android mannequins or what? You know, no, this is going to be about witches. So we've seen vampires and werewolves. Now we're getting to witches of, you know, folklore, supernatural variety. And at first, this isn't evident to Carl, but eventually he does find this out. And all the clues lead to the woman who's in charge of the Trevi collection. And people, things are terrible. Things keep happening. People die around him. Other people get horribly injured. Stuff like that. There's even there's this cat in a couple of scenes, and of course, it's witches. There's always a cat. It was a white cat though. But there's a scene where Carl passes the cat, and they caught it just right, where the cat appears to have a disturbed look on his face and is looking at Carl. But, you know, the cat never attacks Carl. The cat attacks one of the other models, and it's your first clue as to who the real villain is. I won't spoil it, but, you know. So as it unfolds, well, I guess I am going to spoil it. The lady in charge of the Trevi collection, well, she's an old woman, you know. Well, Carl comes to discover that she's a witch, and she's practiced black magic or something of that nature, and ultimately enlists the aid of this coven of witches. And they put him through this ceremony, and they reveal that this witch is out to destroy him, and that there's only one way to stop her, and you've got to locate her secret box of spells or whatever. I forget what it was all called, but it was a box filled with things. As long as she kept that hidden and safe, she couldn't be stopped or destroyed or what have you. So what Carl goes into her office, finds the box, sets it on fire. The woman comes running in, choking and gasping for air, and collapses, telling you idiot, don't you understand what you've done? You know, and now she's free to do what she wants. Pass out. So she wasn't the big bad witch. The girl that was hot and cute and stuff and wanted to be a model but was getting turned down for other girls, so she had the cat attack one of them and claw her face up. Sadly, her beauty is only skin deep, and Carl begins to realize, gets advice from someone else, I forget, to tell him what to do, and he's really, oh no, I got the wrong woman. Tries to communicate with the old lady in the hospital, but her voice has been well, she's lost it, you know, and that sort of thing, as she tries to tell him what to do. So eventually he's armed with a few elements that might help him with the witch, but the main thing is to accuse her of witchcraft in a public setting, since there's no witnesses in the dressing room where he confronts her. There's not a lot he can do other than shattering glass. This seems to really be painful to witches, and she's freaking out and all of that. But he manages to get the upper hand. He dunks her head into, I don't know, a bowl of toilet bowl cleaner or something. It was just to give her this horrific look. Her hair is like dyed all bleached white and blue. And her face is all blue and stuff. So she chases after him, but he lures her outside onto the street, and once on the street, you know, there's people there, so he's able to accuse her publicly, and that's it. The curse or whatever it is, she suffers a curse that backfires on her, and she loses her sanity. She ends up in a sanitarium and apparently breaks out in boils or something like that. It was really horrific. So it was a huge price to pay for her practicing black magic to achieve fame and fortune, and to be loved for her beauty, which she now no longer has. So it's not bad. It was a pretty good little romp and a bit of a murder mystery type thing playing out with it. There was some mobsters here and there, but that was just a distraction and that sort of thing. But a good back and forth here, and yet another element of the supernatural to explore on the show, which they did. Plus, again, a lot of pretty girls in it. You got to appreciate that. And I did. And I still do. So, yeah, pretty good episode. That, for whatever reason, it was blanked out. But, I mean, it's been a long time since I watched these. So, but there's a couple of them, and just, some of the earlier ones really stuck with me. I think I've seen the TV movies more often than the rest of the show, since it's airing in the good old days. But anyway, but then when I started recognizing, no, I did see this, But there we go, the Trevi collection.